Okay, so today we are going to make the recipe for Canele. If that is mispronounced, be nice. I don't know how to pronounce that. And these are the ingredients. And this is my third time trying to make this. The first time I did it in a thick, non-stick coated pan, which came out wonderful. Second time, in this video, I am using thin aluminum, copper colored um, molds. And then the real version, the pastry chefs use, they'll use actual copper molds, which are very expensive. And from my third time making this, I don't think that's necessary if you're just doing this at home for your family and nothing professional. So let's get started. So take the vanilla and add in the milk and the butter and get this to a gentle simmer, and then turn off the heat and let it sit for about 2 minutes. In a separate bowl, we're going to add in the sugar and the eggs and the egg yolks, and we're going to whisk this together. And then we're going to bring in the melted butter milk combination and add it to this mixture and whisk some more. Now we're going to bring in the flour and add it a little bit at a time, whisk it, and then add some more. And then we will bring in the rum and add that to the mixture as well. And then once everything is incorporated, add the vanilla pods back into this mixture, seal it up, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. I went I usually do 48 hours for the mixture before we actually bake it. So you have to wait a little bit. You also want to strain this mixture once and get out any lumps, so you just have smooth liquid before you seal it up and put it in the refrigerator. So the first time I made this, I used beeswax, and that helps the cannelé come out of the mold and slip right out. And if you're using a baking tray that's already nonstick, you really don't need to use beeswax. And if you try this with beeswax, you always have like this waxy aftertaste in your mouth. Second time, I tried butter and it came out fine. However, the outside of the cannelé was kind of burnt and had this burnt taste to it. Um, I did some more research, and French pastry chefs actually use vegetable wax, and I couldn't find that. So this time around, I'm going to use ghee, and it came out wonderful, and everything slipped right out. And so I recommend trying that. So you want to have the molds be very hot. Put them in the oven first, and then take them out and immediately apply ghee, or you will do a ratio of beeswax to butter. I'm not going to get into that one right now, but you would apply it to the molds, um, so that it's nice and slippery. And then we're going to take out our batter from the refrigerator, take out any vanilla pods that you may have put in there. And this is going to be a little stiff, so whisk it up, get it back to a nice liquid form, and then using either a pitcher or a pancake batter pour, fill up your molds. You don't want to fill them up all the way to the top. You want to go about maybe 80% of the way, because when you're baking them, they will rise up past the mold, which is fine. You just don't want them to rise to the side. You want them to go up when it's baking. Get this into the oven at 550 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for 10 minutes. And then, without opening the oven door, reduce the temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for another 45 to 50 minutes until it's nice and brown. Once you take them out of the oven, you can go ahead and just flip them over and give it a nice tap, and it should slide right out. And you want the canelé to be evenly cooked, and you don't really want to see any white spots, um, for a well done canelé. And then the outside should be nice and crispy, and then the inside is this baked custard style, um, vanilla tasting deliciousness. I hope it goes well. Enjoy.